Hi, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and I am enjoying this weekend. This is Sunday. I'm hoping that a lot of you will come on. Hey, Noah, if you're here, hey, Shay, just go ahead and comment. Hi, Chris. I don't do a lot of Sundays. I usually do it during the week, but I decided to go ahead and do a live today. Good morning, guys. Those of you that are in Cali and Pacific time or Mountain time. Hey, everybody. I'm here. I got a lot of tea, a lot of stuff. But again, as I got... Oops, I'm sorry about that. Let me put my phone on mute. You probably heard that. As I got on here today, I don't have tea because I have my Invisaligners on, so I got water here, and that's what I'll be drinking. Thank you, Jessica. You're so sweet. She says your oracle cards are fire. Hey, Mr. Shoddy Red. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so blessed. I have so many things that I need to tell you. Yeah, hydration is key. This heat in Texas, South Texas, is not playing with us. Period, Pooh. I'm saying it's not something that you play with. Like, it is hot, and it's already fall. It's supposed to be fall here in Texas, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like summer. Let me see what temperature it is. I'll tell you. It is 93 degrees currently here. The heat index is 105, and it is barely 1:07 p.m. So just imagine. Just imagine. So I hope y'all don't worry as I get my beauty skincare routine here done this afternoon, primarily just to demonstrate to you, talk about that. Then I'm going to be talking about some ghost stories that happen. So if I get off track, remind me. I won't be doing readings today on here because I am conserving my energy. Today is my rest day, but I definitely want to talk with you and give you a lot of insight and things about, since we're going into Ghost-tober. That's what I'm calling it, Ghost-tober. I really come visit California. That is on my bucket list, and Florida, and New York. Hey, Shabandra. Okay, so a lot of y'all have been asking me what is my skincare routine apart from H2O, which is the water that you just saw me drink. I drink mainly about 8 glasses or more a day. I'm supposed to be drinking like a gallon of water. One of my best friends, Gloria from Houston, told me that, but I don't like drinking that much water, even with, it's just a lot of water to drink. And I never liked water that much. I used to when I was younger, not that much anymore, but I will just drink it because I know it's good for the skin. But this is the blue serum that I was talking about from Chanel. It's been a while because I use different serums. I don't know if y'all can see that. This retails for about $100, and it's not cheap. It's 30 milliliters, which is 1 fluid ounce. The ingredients come from the blue zones of the region. The blue zones in the world. So it's all natural ingredients. It is vegan. It is paraben free. And this is the pump I'm going to show y'all. And it's a clear serum. Y'all see that? So then I just dab here, and you'll see the difference. I don't know if y'all see it on screen. Yes, for a guy, guys do skincare routines too. It has a gentle smell. It doesn't have a strong fragrance. So I'll just dab a little bit on here, and you'll see the difference that it makes in the skin. So I'm just covering some of the main regions here. Okay. But my skin is always oily, but it also is dry. So then what I do, I kind of go up. You're supposed to go up in serum, supposedly in skincare. You want to massage that up, kind of bring it up. Of course, on your nose is kind of hard. So I just bring it up. I'm not a skincare or beauty channel, so I'm probably going to get criticized by a lot of people. Let me put some more because that wasn't enough. I'm being generous here, but this bottle has lasted me almost, I want to say, probably about 6 months. But like I said, I don't use it every single day. I rotate. Next time I come on the channel, I'll definitely show you another one that I use. So that's my Chanel serum. I don't know. Can y'all see a difference? I can't see the difference. Sometimes I can. This light is really bright. So it makes your skin, if your skin is kind of dull, it kind of shines it up just a little bit. It looks a little smoother, more hydrated. It's not a moisturizer, so it's just a serum to kind of, help your skin with aging, fine lines, wrinkles, etc. Jessica Pettis says, would you consider doing a meet and greet? I'm from California and would love to meet other rays of light as well. Yeah, I definitely will. Like I said, I do everything by myself. And even though I have a lot of clients and stuff, doing meet and greet sometimes does take, some money to do, because you have to book a venue, unless, there's a venue that's being provided to you. You have to, pay for advertisement and then your travel expenses. So it can be pretty pricey. And there's a lot of other mediums out there, or spiritual people that have companies or agents that kind of arrange all of that. So yeah, that is on my bucket list to be doing a meet and greet soon. If I do one, I'm thinking I will do one maybe this year, and it will be in Houston, Texas. So if I do go through with it, like I think I am, I definitely would love to meet y'all. I would have to find a venue in Houston, but I'm closer to Houston, Texas, and maybe y'all can fly out. But I'll let you know. Okay. Phil Davis, are you a healer? I am, but I don't advertise that. I don't, and I should. I don't, I'm not the traditional Reiki healer. I need to take a class on Reiki and get certified as a Reiki master. Well, there's different levels of Reiki, but I need to do that. My friend Pamela Williams, though, is a certified Reiki master, but I am a healer, a natural healer. How healing works for me and my ways, I can lay my hands on people, but I also just do it remotely from a distance. When I do my readings, I tend to provide people with healing on that. So it really is very interesting, how that healing works. Let me see here. Just another excuse to travel then, right? Come to Reno, Nevada. You can stay with me. Oh, you're so sweet, Shannon. Do a reading on La Llorona. I did do a reading on La Llorona. I have done on her, and then I did La Lechuza. For those of you that haven't seen it, y'all should check out that video. I did it the other day. I think it was Friday or Saturday. But let me go ahead and tell you, because I'm a Gemini, so naturally it's in my nature to just be like a gossip king and just chat away. I didn't tell y'all, but Thursday, or maybe I did, I don't remember. Thursday I went to Goliad, Texas for personal reasons. And I went there, and I went to the county clerk's office, which is located in the downtown square. For those of you that are not from Texas, you may not have an idea, but you can kind of Google it and look at it. And this is a historic courthouse. Inside the courthouse is where the actual county clerk's office is at. Well, I went in by myself, and when I went in, it was during midday. The women were still there. It was like mid-morning, like maybe about 11 o'clock. And this is the thing about having spirits everywhere. Like these places, like they used to hang people outside. So immediately as I was walking up to the courthouse, the property there, I could see spirits in the ground, like actual bodies that were buried in the ground at one time on that place. It's very peaceful, but I could feel that. I also saw the trees that were hanging trees. I didn't know exactly which one, but there was 2 trees that were used for executing people back in the day in the 1800s. And I saw it to the left-hand side of me as I was going through the main entrance. The main entrance has steps going up. Then when I walked into the place, it is so eerie. It's very tall. The ceilings are very tall as you get in. It's like dark cherry wood, very antique. You know, they kept it the style and the decor like original, like from the 1800s, very much so. I mean, it's clean, it's updated, it's air conditioned. People use it. There's staff members that work in there. It's a courthouse, of course. So, but as I walked in, I could feel spirit all around me. I'm not even kidding you. And I got this chill, like the air, the temperature was different. And that's how I know when a place is spiritually active. This place was. Well, funny that when I went to the county clerk's office and I was getting some information there that I needed, the ladies there was a couple of ladies there. They're real sweet, very sweet ladies. I love them. Their energy was just amazing. I had a black onyx druzy pendant hanging on me. And I had my bling because I wear a lot of different crystals. Yeah, I know. But for protection. And that's just who I am. Very eccentric. And I love gemstones. I love crystals. So I was there at the counter and she was like, oh my God, I love your jewelry. I love that onyx. I mean, I love that. What stone is that? And then they started asking me about the stones. And then finally I was like, let me let the elephant out in the room, you know, because like, I think not everyone knows who I am. I know they don't. I mean, I'm not famous like, you know, Tyler or Teresa or those psychic mediums, but they knew something special. So they were like, oh, wow, that's interesting. I told them, yeah, I'm very spiritual. I said, well, I'm a psychic medium. So I just let it out. And I hate really like doing that because, you know, then after that, there's no going back. Oh my God, let me tell you, after I told these ladies, they were so sweet, that I was a psychic medium and that their place was haunted, they started freaking out. They were like, oh my God, come back here. Come back here. And I was like, what is wrong with these women? So then they had me go back into the, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I won't say it all because in case I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But I got to see some like sightseeing, like a tour. And it turns out like they wanted to know where I saw spirit. And basically I saw spirit in a certain place in their office. And they were like, oh my God, there was a man that died of a heart attack there. And I knew exactly where he had passed away in that exact location. So it was very, it was not funny. Like, I don't find this funny when people die, you know, or spirits are there. But it was just hilarious because they were like, they've had paranormal experience. And I told them, well, if you were in this office, you know, a lot of you would be suffering from this, and this, and you would be experiencing this, you know, kind of giving them some detail. Like I said, I don't want to get anyone in trouble from that office, but I mean, I didn't, you know, it was just like a little small room, but yeah, the place is haunted. And they know about it. They knew about it. They were like, oh my God. So then I was waiting for my Uber driver because an Uber driver was bringing me, you know, back. And then they were waiting there. So I couldn't like stay there. But I think they were all lined up in front of me, kind of like a group reading kind of scenario. And they wanted a reading, I guess. And so they were like, give me your website. Give me your website. So I gave them my website. But it was so funny. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you so much. Karen Kitchen says, who says you aren't famous? You're famous just all. But yeah, that was just hilarious. Like everywhere I go now, like a lot of people are very intrigued because, you know, I kind of look like the part of a psychic, you know. I don't, not to sound stereotypical because, you know, when you're saying that, it can be like misconstrued by people. My connection is a little unstable. They're waiting to reconnect. So hopefully this is just intermittent. I'm sorry about that if this transmission kind of gets cut off a little bit. But my computer system just told me that. So yeah, that was that was hilarious. That was what happened in Goleta, Texas when I went there this week. Also, we are on, like I said, if this transmission gets like a little spotty or so, I apologize. But like as I was saying, this week, yesterday was the new moon. And I had someone ask me about the new moon, asking me, you know, what is the difference? Like, why is it a dark moon? Why is it considered that? And basically, like, it's always been known that the full moon is like the one of light, like it's a more light. The new moon is the dark moon. A lot of people do more of their work, their spells, and their magic, and a lot of manifesting and clearing and cleansing through the full moon. It's, to me, it's one of the most powerful moons that there is. I also like the new moon as well for its reasons, for my own reasons, my own personal reasons. Right, there have been times I hear a voice, but there's a loud jet engine type of sound. Yeah, that's your clairaudience picking up. Jose, let me see here. Yeah, it's not your connection, guys. I apologize. Can y'all hear me better now? Yes? Okay. Thank you so much. Let me just... Okay. So, as I was saying, I'm just going through the comments and reading. Yeah, I need to get certification when it comes to Reiki, and that's one on my bucket list. Like, I am planning to get that because I really want to do. I want to do that. But like I was saying, the new moon is very powerful. This is a time, where you can kind of harvest this energy. It's in the sign of Libra right now. So all my Librans, do I have a lot of Librans on here right now? I don't know. Do I have any Librans? Any Libras here? And somebody was like, well, if the new moon's in Libra, are you saying that this is just a new moon for Libra? No, that's just the sign that the sun sign that it happens, or it happens to fall in. But it's the energy of the new moon is for everybody. It's just like, at certain times the new moon or the full moons may be in Pisces, or it may be in Gemini. It just depends where the cycles fall, like where it rotates, etc. But the energy is always there. And so that's something I just wanted to kind of briefly touch on there. I also wanted to show you something that I picked up that a lot of you may not be aware of. Florida water. A lot of you may use it for, magical purposes. It is known to be like a protection type of, water that you can use. It's like a cheap cologne smell, but it's used for protection in hoodoo and in witchcraft. A lot of people use Florida water. It's used in Santeria. It's used throughout all cultures and all kinds of magical backgrounds. Interestingly enough, when I went to San Antonio last weekend, I picked up some things. And well, no. Let me see. This is from the Bronx, from New York, that I picked up. It's from the original Botanica that I actually ordered, and it's this. It's Florida water soap. I didn't know that it actually comes in soap form. So I found that very interesting. And it smells really good. And some people don't like the smell of it. But this would be a good time, like if you had a soap, or if you can mix your Florida water a little bit with, with your bath. If you take a bath, instead of a shower, you could do that. But since I use a lot of the shower, I'll definitely be using this. Yeah, it comes in soap, and they had other soaps as well. But yeah, I was very intrigued that they had the smell of the Florida water in soap form. That was just so, shocking to me, because there's a lot of things that I'm learning every day. And so, yeah, that was very, very interesting. Let me see here. I'm just going through here. Mr. Shoddy Red, my mom loves that. I use it too sometimes. Yeah. Can't wait till I'm rich and buy everything I want from your website. Linda, let me tell you something. Period, poo. Okay, my stuff is not expensive. Like, it's not like some shops, some places that are like way up, like my jewelry and stuff. It's pretty much on sale. Like, I have a lot of things that I'm trying to get rid of. A lot of personal pendants and things that I have that I don't use. 'Cause, I have I'm like becoming a hoarder of crystals. So I have an array of stuff that I'm going to be putting out. In fact, today I'm going to be updating my website so that you can check it, go and check it out. But like a lot of my jewelry, crystal pendants, they are on sale. My readings are on sale until Monday is the last day, the 30th. So I just wanted to state that. But I understand what you're saying. Like, if you were like I myself, like if I was rich, I would be on a shopping binge on different websites, definitely Etsy, and I would be, dedicating like maybe 2 rooms with no wall separating them, and then I would have like, my ideas like having just like a wraparound room and having crystals all on shelves, and my witch supplies, my herbs, and my Florida water, and my candles, and my incense, and everything organized. Like that would be my ideal closet. And then of course my personal closet, I would have like tons of clothes and things color coordinated. I have an idea, but yeah, I'm waiting to win the lottery. I love talking to y'all. Let's see here. Okay, Jessica Pettis said, for all my California peeps, if you're not by a Botanica, Cardenas carries Florida water, Agua Florida. Yeah. My website is www.raymondguzman.net. And then if you want to go to the shop section, you just go to the shop section. There's tabs at the top of my website. But if you're using it on your mobile device, then there's like 3 little lines. You would click on that, and then it takes you through the drop-down menu. Thank you, Nicole Sorkin. What about the oil fiery wall? My mom got it for me. There's a lot of things that I'm not well versed in, and like that is I've heard of the oil fiery wall, but I wouldn't be able to tell you, Rebecca Howie. And I'm very honest, when I don't know something, I don't know everything. I'm learning as well. When it comes to like a lot of spiritual supplies, maybe someone on here can help her out and let her know a little bit about that oil. But there are a lot of oils, a lot of different, we call them curios. Like there's different things, different oils. There's attraction oils, there's manifesting oils, money drawing oils. There's Adam and Eve oils. There's Adam and Steve oils for same-sex couples. When you're doing candle magic, etc. There's just so many different types of oils. You'd be surprised. There's oils for everything. There's smudge sprays. Like I didn't know until my friend Pam gave me a smudge spray that there was actually smudge sprays. There's so many things in the spiritual community. I actually ordered an egg. It's a black or golden obsidian egg from a buyer off of Instagram. So I'm waiting to get that to show it to y'all. But I love collecting eggs in the gemstone form. I have a pyrite egg. Thank you, Sweet Pea. You're so sweet. She says, your jewelry helps my energy so much. They coordinate good with my outfits. Okay, I'm just looking here. Oops. Come on. Hey, Leslie Michelle. Welcome, sweetheart. My other moderator. Leslie Michelle, if you're listening, send me an email when you have a chance to raymondguzman@hotmail.com. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I have some questions for you. Oops. Come on. Come on, laptop. Trying to scroll back up. Sheree says, I just spent $100 there the other day and only got like 4 items. I don't know which you're referring to, Sheree. Oh, on crystals. I'm just going back up. Now it's letting me see. Hey, JC Survive BC. She's a Libra. He's a Libra. Let me see. The courtroom, yeah. Thank you, Alexandra H. I know a lot of people are finding my channel, and I'm just so great. Yeah, I have TV in the background, guys, and radio as well, so I try to keep it a little low. It's kind of a far away, but it still picks up. So if you hear anything, it's not spirits talking. It says, Shannon Pinelli says you can go to any crystal store and they'll have candles, smudge, sprays, anything you want. Very true. Very, very true. They do. I'm going to be, let me see. Okay, I got a lot more things that I want to cover. A lot more. So I'm going to take my time. And I'll be answering questions going back up as well. Karen Kitchens, can your oracle cards teach how to use them? Yes. The thing with my oracle cards, which I have right here for y'all, my Starseed Footstep oracle cards. They're very small. They're poker size. Let me just clear my throat. They're very easy to use, my oracle cards. They're very self-explanatory. A lot of people that are using them, a lot of my rays of light, they are being very specific in their questions, and boom, they pop out, 4 or 5 cards, and it kind of like generally tells them what it is. But if you have ordered the cards and you've received them and you need like a manual, my cards don't come with a manual inside of the deck, but I do have a PDF file of a manual that you can just email me and I'll email it to you. And you can print that manual out, kind of helps you, or you can just use it online to save paper. But there's not like a set, I didn't want to be one of those people that creates a deck and has like standard rules on how you read cards, because everyone reads them differently, or, how many you should pull. I know I'm getting that question a lot, on here. And there's no set amount. Like, it just depends on what questions you're asking. Like, some people that read tarot cards, not oracle cards, they'll ask like, what is this relationship with this person going to be like? And then they pull one card for that. And then they'll ask, what is the outcome of this situation with my job? And they pull another card for that. Or like if they do a 3-card spread of the past, present, and future, and then they pull 3 cards out. You can do it however. You can tailor reading cards however you want. Like, you shouldn't be afraid when you're doing this. And it's so simple. Like, people love my oracle cards. I'm not even kidding. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or, just come on here and just be biased about them. But they are really great because, like I said, compared to a lot of other decks out there where you have to constantly like go to the manual and figure out what they're trying to say, my cards are very cut and dry, like very clear, very to the point, kind of like me when I do private readings and public readings on here. Like, I don't sugarcoat anything. So yeah, you definitely should check them out. Let me see here. When you see spirits, do they scare you sometimes? Imani, I'm glad you asked that, because that was one of the things that I want to talk about. Imani Omar Ali says, when you see spirits, do they scare you sometimes? No. I will say this, that the spirit of fear is something that we need to talk about, because as we get into spiritual work, and we have light workers, and we have people that are on their spiritual path, and they may be afraid that they're mediums and they're hearing things, they're hearing spirit, they're seeing things, they're seeing spirit around them, or they're feeling presences around them. The spirit of fear is something that we typically adopt, or we start holding on to that spirit of fear when we are not solidly grounded, or we're socially programmed. And we have to kind of start learning to release the spirit of fear. Like, I'm very much a believer in God, the entity, God, all-loving God. And God doesn't give us the spirit of fear. It's man that creates the spirit of fear. And God doesn't want us to be fearful. It's basically lower entities and sometimes, like I said, social conditioning, religion that kind of programs people to become fearful when they see spirits. Now, I'm not going to lie, that I'm not going to say that I don't ever feel fear, because that's not true. When I did the Yorktown Memorial Hospital paranormal investigation, I was a little scared, but I never showed it on camera. But I was definitely scared a little bit, not because I saw anything that was really like bad. I did see spirits all around. I saw shadow men and stuff like that, but I'm used to that. But I did get a little scared because mainly of how my health was affected. Because, like I said, when you go into these kind of demonic areas or vortexes that are open, A lot of times people think that we are under control. And even if you have all the protections that, you use, and even if you're not fearful, they can affect your health. And so when I got to the point where in the investigation where I started feeling affected from my chest, my heart, my breathing, then definitely that was like a moment where I had like, yeah, I was a little scared and fearful. Then I had to remind myself, hey, get your shit together, because you cannot lose it here in the hospital and then go be carried off by an ambulance because, you let fear get to you. And that's what God teaches us, because I do believe in him, in her, him, the divine power, the higher power that I refer to. That it doesn't give us that spirit of fear. It's usually lower entities like the vortexes and the spirits that were in the hospital that feed us that negative energy and that vibration of fear. But we have to stay strong in our faith and stay strongly rooted in our power, so that we cannot allow our energy to be dispersed and leave us like that. Because when you start being fearful, what happens is that you're severing that connection to a higher vibration, and then what's happening is that you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable to darker entities, to things that don't walk in God's white light, that can cause chaos when you're channeling or when you're around spirits, etc. But as long as you stay solidly rooted in your faith and knowing that nothing can affect you or hurt you, it's almost like putting up a shield. That's something that I'm going to start talking about a little bit more to help you. It's about putting up a shield around you, like an invisible shield. How I do it is like I picture myself on a street, right? On a road. And then what I picture up is like brick walls going out like 5 meters or 5 feet away. And I have like a brick wall. And then I go another 5 meters away and I have another brick wall. And then I picture walls all around me of white light, like all around me. I do this for my property as well. My white, I picture like a white fence solidly going around it, like all the way around it, and then all around myself. And you have to kind of visualize this. And this is about having, boundaries and establishing boundaries. Like darker entities fear the light. They fear anything that is God's white light. They will gravitate towards, they'll go away from it and flee into the shadows, into the dark spaces. That's where they hide. So yeah, it's very important to visualize and have a connection where you are, basically working with shields and putting up that shield, because this is spiritual warfare. Like I said, you may not see it. I had a client the other day that came to me, and she's actually a friend of mine as well, and she was getting attacked and she didn't know why. And I told her, this is spiritual warfare that's going on. There's always going to be people that are jealous of you, that are envious of what you have, jealous of, that other people like you a certain way, and they want you to be exposed. They want you to be seen or viewed in a way that they would love to see you, or the way that they see you. Then you have also, people that you may have negative people around you. This could be family members, and all of that is it can affect you. It can affect you in various ways and kind of penetrate your aura. We have an aura all around us. That's our energetic field. It goes from all around us, from head to toe, all around us. And it's like maybe about, I want to say like 3 feet away from us, all the way around. And that is our aura, but it's comprised of layers. And how that works is that when negative entities and stuff start seeing that your vibration is lowered, that aura serves like an energetic protection field, a shield basically for yourself. That shield that aura starts being broken down, and it starts getting weak. So entities can come into your aura and affect you very greatly. That's the one thing that I didn't do when I was into the actual haunting in the Yorktown Memorial thing. I never really focused on that. Like I should have been more shielded, and I probably wouldn't have had the experiences that I had physically. But that is basically what it is, about putting up a shield Crystals like black tourmaline and obsidian are going to be great against psychic attacks, against negative energies and everything. But like I tell people, I don't want you to get the misunderstanding that crystals are going to protect you 100%, because they're not. Crystals are basically like little band-aids. They work for a specific amount of time, and it depends on how much spiritual activity is in an area. And like this haunted place that I went to, that memorial place, crystals, I had my crystals on there, had several on my hands and my pockets, etc. They didn't help me, 100%, because there's just so much, but they do work and they do protect you. So yeah, I definitely recommend them. Let me see here. Okay, Estrella Guzman says, "Hey Ray, I saw bright lights, white lights flash 4 times in my room at midnight, almost like a camera flash. Do you know what that could be?" Yes, those are angels. Like, I feel like that would be an angel. Angels can appear themselves as blue lights, gold lights, white lights. Typically for me, or like a very white, like a very bright light, like natural light from outside. That's how you would see them. But they can appear themselves in different ways. Typically when I see angels present, I'll see like little flashes of blue lights, white lights. It just depends. I hope that helps with that question. Yes, it's www.raymondguzman.net is my website. And JC Survive BC says, "Could my moderators give me your website again?" Yeah, I'll post it also at the end of this video. It will be in the description box below, so definitely check that out. Teresa Pagano says, "I always ask Archangel Michael to surround me and my loved ones in pure protecting white light, and then envision that light." Yes, I love Archangel Michael. Definitely work with him. Are all shadow spirits bad? Shay's World asset. No. That's a very good question. No, not all shadow spirits are bad. The thing with spirits is that they're going to present themselves to you in the way that they feel comfortable. Sometimes we may not see them as a transparent body. We may not see them as a white light. We may not see them in a certain way. They may be, they may present themselves in a different way. It may be a shadow. Then you may have some spirits that are shadows that are not good. And the way that you would differentiate that is how they make you feel. Like, darker entities can make some people scared. These would be like shadow men, etc. I also, on the subject of shadow men, people have asked me, like, where do they come from? And basically, shadow men are from different, they're multi-dimensional beings from another plane of existence. They were never living. So these are not like human spirits that once lived that are now in spirit form. They come from another dimension. I would say that, they maybe fall in between the realms of, different entities that we don't know. I don't feel like they're necessarily aliens, but they could be. You never know. But they are bad. Shadow men are bad. They can hurt a person. They can get to the point where, if they've stayed in a place that, especially like in a home for an extended amount of time, they can kill you. Like, they can. They can affect your health so much that you will, have that. They can choke you. They can cause nightmares. They are not good at all. They won't follow you though. The difference between spirits that follow people, and even demons, not all demons and shadow men follow people. They stay usually in a territory or within a vortex that's been open in that place. You can try to close the vortex, but the thing with shadow men and demons, some of these older ancient demons that are here loose on earth in these different places, is that they've been here before us, before humankind. So they've always been here in earth before the world was, in existence. They're older than dinosaurs. So you're not necessarily going to get rid of them. You may get rid of a demon from your home, but they can always come back. And the thing with shadow men is that those, I don't know how to get rid of those. Like, people say that, you can exorcise shadow men, you can cleanse your house and get rid of them. Some people believe that they have the power to get rid of them. I don't. I'm very much about that. Shadow men are things that I don't like to be around. And in my elementary school, when I was growing up, there was shadow men in the elementary school gymnasium. So every time I pass through that old school, like, I just cringe, because even though I'm not afraid anymore, I know that they're there. Kendra asked again, she says, Ray, does your protection technique work when you have to go to court for legal issues? Thanks. Kendra, can you be more specific? Are you asking for yourself? Let me see. Oh, like your Heather or rope reading. Let me see here. So shadow men are different from demons. Yes, Taja D. Assad. Yes, they're not demons. Like, these are, like, I don't know how to explain it. They're not they're not angels at one time. They weren't angels at one time. They're not fallen angels. They're not demons. Shadow men are an intergalactic type of creature. Like, some people would refer to them as aliens. I feel like there's different planes in the spirit world and dimensions that they come from. Like, there would be other places where there's okay, in the spirit world, you have lower, it's like a pyramid. You have the lower levels, you have your demons, your devils, and those kind of things there, and dark spirits of people that were once alive that committed murders and things like that. Then you have another place where, like, some souls are at that weren't so bad, so negative. Somewhere in between there's definitely there's different levels and different dimensions to these beings. There's other beings, like I've talked about. I spoke about this on the other live I think I did, where there are entities that are like guardians or like spirit animals. Some things are like La Lechuza, which is like a Native American spirit that is like half human, half half animal. And basically it's in spirit form. So there are different spiritual, I don't want to call them spiritual, but they're different entities. And some things that we don't know, like skinwalkers and, those kind of entities, things like that. And aliens, there's dimensions for those entities as well. So yes, but they're not the same. So like, that's why I said, if you were to do like an exorcism or a blessing or a cleansing to get rid of shadow men, it's not going to necessarily help. Typically, when a house is infested with shadow men, a lot of people tend to move. That's like the only way to get rid of them. They don't follow you. Now, demons, like I said, sometimes they can follow you. It just depends. Let me see here. I'm going through here. Hi, Liz. Let me see here. Okay, Kendra, thank you so much. Kendra says, yes, I have a custody case. Okay, hon. For you, there is, send me a message to my email when you get a chance, Kendra Smith. It's RaymondGuzman@hotmail.com. And then put custody case. I have some magic thing that I can give you working with the Psalms. I use a lot of the Psalms for my hoodoo work and for magic and stuff. There's a special, I don't want to call it spell, like a ritual that you do, but it's not anything dark. I don't want people that listen to this thing that it's rituals that are dark, etc. That I will tell you. It's very simple on how to do working with certain Psalms for a court case to go in your favor. Okay, so I appreciate if you can give me send me an email later today. Let me see here. Yeah, Amy from the Dead Falls. And I apologize. On my last live, I said Amy Adams. It's Amy Allen. Like, that's so, I feel embarrassed that I got her last name wrong. Amy Allen. Yeah, she's great. And it's right, because to this day, I know that that shadow man hasn't left that place, that elementary school in the gymnasium portion. So anywhere the shadow men are, they're very dangerous. Like, they can really hurt you. They can cause physical things to like fly across the room. I think that's what a lot of people get them confused for, demons. But they can make things levitate. They can throw things. They can do a lot of stuff. They can physically attack you, like physically. What are they here to do? Tasha D, that's very good. With shadow men, I feel like what they're here to do is to really like collect souls. Like, that's what I feel like. That's what I know. Like, they are here to not like the angel of death or the grim reaper, but they are here to take souls. Like, they can suck in a person's soul, or they can even take like a person and make them disappear completely. Like, there's been cases of children that have been abandoned, and I have in wooded areas, or they've gone missing. A lot of people think that these are like molesters or people that have done human trafficking, which I actually feel are not, because they never find any evidence or traces. A lot of these missing people cases are due to shadow men, and a lot of people are not aware of that. And I know that a lot of people may be looking at me like, oh, you're like Shane Dawson, going into conspiracies. But no, a lot of people that have gone missing that never are retraced, like their steps have never been recovered, these are shadow men that have taken them with them. So again, I'm not trying to create the spirit of fear here, but I'm just being very honest. Like, there are some places on earth that, if you go into it, like these woods, or there are certain areas on earth where people will go missing. Even in, I would say, like the Bermuda Triangle, that's been also like a place that people have asked me about. Like, there are places in there that I don't know. I think that, like, I feel like shadow men can even exist under the water in that area where the Bermuda Triangle is. Because keep in mind, this is a different dimension. When there's a vortex open, it's not necessarily on the ground. It's not necessarily in the house. It would be in the air, like in the atmosphere, where there are these black holes of vortexes. Excuse me, I'm burping. Had chicken for lunch. And so that's what the shadow men, they take people. So I think a lot of the people that have been missing, like some of them, not all these cases, but some cases where they, no one finds a trace of, there's no evidence, no clue, no tracking, nothing. They just disappear. They're wiped out completely. Those would be other dimensional beings. And I think a lot of people have blamed sometimes aliens of abducting people. But, aliens don't typically do that. They work differently, which is a whole nother series that I could be talking about, and I will, about aliens and how abductions work, etc. It's so interesting. Okay, let me scroll down. Tasha D, I'm so sorry, honey, you went through that. That's horrible. Guys, those of you that are asking if I'm asking questions like for readings, I'm not doing any readings right now on this live today. I'm just talking about different spiritual subjects, having some tea time with y'all, dishing some tea. Hi, Cicely Woodson. Thank you, Kendra. Guys, those of you that are asking if you have special gifts, a lot of you have special gifts. A lot of you are very gifted. In fact, we all have a certain level of intuition. It's just how we use it and we develop it. I'm just going through and reading. Okay. Yeah, there's so many things. Amy stated they tried to get her to kill herself when she was a child. Yes, and they tried to kill me when I was in that gymnasium. Like I was standing. I don't know, for those of you, I have a lot of new Race of Light that are watching. Let me go ahead and, since this is about ghost stories and scary things, I want to definitely tell you my story with Shadowman and how it worked. So basically, I had we were outside. It was PE time, and my teacher, my coach, my PE coach, sent me to go into this gymnasium. Now, the elementary school that I went to for throughout all my youth, um, the school itself had a gymnasium that used to be an African American high school, and they had cut that off completely. Like they had closed that off at the time that I had been in that school years before. They had closed that whole entire section off, and so it was just like one part of the school was in the very front, and then they had like a little patio that walks up to like the cafeteria, and then after the cafeteria, there's another little corridor that you go through out on the outside and led to another building, and that was the building for like the 4th and 5th graders. But in the middle, there was this whole big section of a building that was never open. We never knew what it was about. So then they decided to excavate that to open it up. And when they opened it up, they gave us a sightseeing tour because they told us a story then that it had been a high school for, at one time that they had closed off. They didn't say for what reason they shut it down. I don't know the reasons behind it. But when we went in there, it was like it had been abandoned in a rush. Like, I don't know the story. This is what kind of freaks me out a little bit. When I went in there, they had lockers, like high school lockers with papers still in them. There was like, assignments from years ago. This was like in the 70s when this was still running, like the late 60s and 70s as a high school. And then we walked through and the floors were like red. They had like red dust, which is so weird. Like how red dust powder, like none of that, unless before, I'm thinking before they shut that down. It used to be like all red, kind of like a red dirt type of material on the outside. And then they decided to go ahead and pave it, with concrete, with the asphalt and stuff on the parking lot leading up to that area. But the whole building itself was closed off. And then as we walked down, we had to hold our breath. They told us not to breathe all that because, again, asbestos or whatever, because it had been closed off for so long. And all these lockers left to right. The whole thing had like a very eerie energy and spooky when we walked through it. We just walked through it just a very little bit. And then basically we walked back out. Later on, they opened up a gymnasium portion of that. They reconstructed it and made a gymnasium because we didn't have like a gym up until this point. We would play PE outside. And when we didn't, we would, on days that we, we couldn't play outside because it was raining, then our teacher took us to like some closed off rooms or to an art class to kind of just sit there in a corner, an area and read books, or the library. So then one day I was playing, we're going to get ready to play dodgeball. And my teacher asked me to go inside this gymnasium to get, the net of balls. Like, there was like different balls in there, dodgeballs, volleyballs, etc. And so, hey, Ryan. And so I went in there, and as I was going in there, it was really dark. They had just like the lights on the actual, like the exit marks where it says exit and the doors. There was a couple of lights, but all that hall was like dark all the way down. And I was standing there getting the net of balls, and I turned around because I heard something. When I turned around, I saw the Shadowman. He was like extremely tall, maybe about 7 feet tall. They're really tall. Or at least the one that I saw. He had the top hat, the classic top hat, the black trench coat. He was darker than night, darker than the actual, hallway where it was all dark. But you could see his silhouette. Basically, it was a shadow. He had a knife in his hand. Yes, a knife. And there were some carts that were far away where he was at. One of those carts came pushed real at a high velocity towards me, and my gut instinct was to just duck to the side, like fall over to the side. So I kind of landed on my knees on the side. But if I didn't move, that metal cart would have either crushed me or it would have hurt me really bad. I don't know. But I feel like their intentions were malevolent to kill me. I ran out of that gymnasium, and I was like paranoid. I was scared because keep in mind I was like maybe 11 or 12. Then I went outside, and my friend Joanne, she came back with me. She's like, "What's going on?" I said, "There's something in there." And you know how kids are. We do sometimes have an imagination, but this was not an imagination. It was really real. And I was like, "I'm not going back in there," because I left the balls there. I didn't go back and get them. I ran out of there. So then I decided to go back in there, and she followed me, and we both went to get where the net of balls were where I was standing in that cart. She noticed that cart that was there. There was another cart that hadn't been moved, and so she turns around and said, "Look, Joanne, there he is. Can you see him?" She saw him, and that other cart came flying at us again from a distance, and so we just ran. We definitely ran, and we ran. We were scared. We got the net of balls, and then later on, we both marched down to the principal's office, and we told him that what we had seen, and he said that it was just our imagination. That blah 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 was just an imagination. Then my mom went and spoke to him afterwards and told him that he needed to be more safe with kids and not send the kids into them gymnasium by themselves. Because right where the gymnasium was, we had like a very bad neighborhood where there was a lot of projects. Not that the projects are bad or anything, but in this particular area where we lived in, where the school was actually located, there was there was drug dealers out there, gang members, a lot of bad things where the gymnasium was, and anyone could access it from the outside in. So basically, my mom spoke to him, and he kind of took that serious. He put a lock on the gate during school hours, so no one off premises could come in, and they would have to check in through the main entrance of the main office. So yes, it was very, very scary experience. I never went back into that gymnasium, only, when there was a group of kids, but it was definitely my first experience with shadow men. Since then, I have seen them maybe once in another location, another place, but I haven't had any more experiences with them. But I'll never forget. It was terrifying. It really was. Let me see what time it is. I still have some minutes here. I'm just reading the comments here. Will we ever know the truth about extraterrestrials? Why is it such a secret? That's from Tierra Miles. It's something that is like not discussed. Like people don't discuss it. A lot of people are now discussing about aliens. The thing is with aliens is that they choose. I feel like a lot of them choose to be more private than anything. They're here observing the human nature, and they have mutated DNA. This will be another video that I do just on aliens, but I will say this, and I will say it now on aliens, that they have mutated with humanity, and there are creatures that are here on Earth that do not look like animals, like cats or dogs, that have alien DNA. They have mutated our DNA as well. So a lot of us that have spiritual abilities or have origins to Lemuria, to Pleiades, to Sirius, or all these other, planetary galactic places. We are starseeds. A lot of our DNA has been mutated. I tried to explain this. I don't know if science will ever confirm it, but there is, to me, what I've been revealed by my spirit guides is that those of us that are starseeds and have those connections, I have that connection. A lot of you do too. A part of our DNA strand that is inactive, not to get very technical with y'all, is activated. And that is like a switch that goes on that not a lot of people have it on, which in turn rules our consciousness and how much awakened we are to this world and other worlds. And so when that switches on our DNA, we're basically not saying that we're alien, but we do have the alien DNA in us. And that's not something to be scared of. I think it's great that we have those abilities, but the human DNA itself, the structure, a lot of us that are human here on Earth, we're also part alien. Like we have the DNA mutated, where kind of like the X-Men, you know, a lot of us, we may not look like Harry, you know, or look like half animal, half human, but we do have that DNA, which a lot of times that explains like a lot of the reptilians that people want to know about. Like, you know, you see them and they go through character changes, like their eyes start looking like lizard eyes, etc. And then, you know, a lot of people, we have the grays. A lot of people wanted me to talk about the grays. Those are like the ones that kind of abduct people, etc. So there's just a lot that I could be talking about. Let me just see here. I'm reading. Rosuela Renee says, "How are you always live when I'm working?" This was impromptu. I wasn't going to do this today in this live, but I felt like chatting with you guys. I love y'all, and I love being here and just chatting when I have some time. Let me just see here. Okay, so that was some of the ghost stories. Enough about shadow and aliens. Let me go ahead and get to the next thing with the time that I have left. So I'm going to be showing you my my fall picks of tarot decks that I have, or oracle cards. And these are cards that I'm going to be showing y'all. Some of them I've used. These are my top favorite decks. Of course, the first one is going to be mine. Period poo. It's this one. Starseed Footstep Oracle cards. You know, that's going to be my favorite. Again, I'm being biased because, you know, this is mine. Hay House, if you're looking at this, you know, or Llewellyn, or all these publishers, shout out to me. Just joking. But that's my first one that I like. Okay. The second deck that I love is the Gothic Bohemian Tarot. These cards are a little darker, and the depictions are like very vampiric. I love that energy of vampires. I love Gothic stuff. It comes in a very fancy box. These are my, oops, let me see. This is the box. It kind of opens up, and I'm going to show you some of the cards. Like, I'm going to display them to you. This deck was one of the, by far, one of the most expensive decks that I bought. It was probably about $50, and I ordered it. I can't remember off the place online, but if you search for the Gothic Bohemian Tarot, it will take you to the place. And ooh, Angela Blue says, I want to get the Le Petit Prince tarot cards. Come out October 8th. So I definitely want to check those as well. Like, I'm going to do another haul of tarot decks that I'm going to be ordering. Then I'm going to be unboxing, like an unboxing of them. But these are the Bohemian Tarot cards. The illustrations are amazing. They are a little dark, like I said, because that's like the theme. It's Gothic. But it follows almost like in the Rider-Waite. But they're very, that's death. See, it's really cool if you like that kind of thing. I love these. And I found these through my friend Kimberly Cooley, who is also a psychic reader. She does tarot readings, and she's amazing. So I love these. See, the Lovers. She's just like a damsel in distress, and there's a vampire. So romantic. I don't know. I just love these decks. Okay, that's the first deck, apart from mine. Okay. The other deck that I spoke about is this deck. It's the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcanas. This is the first edition, and my friend Dre did them. And for those of you that don't see, it has here all the cards. I displayed them. These are basically all African American. Again, the connection is to Africa, and there are more depictions of black folk. And I love it because I'm part black. I'm mixed. So she used it to get diversity. I love this deck. Sorry, a lot of these cards are reversed. But the depictions are really great. You pay homage to the motherland. Love this deck. And she drew the images. She's the artist behind them. She made these women like not stick figures to actually like have curves, which I think is very great. You know, they're not like the Barbie doll type of cards. You know, you see a lot of these stick figures, etc. She really made them all kinds of shapes and sizes, basically embracing the divine feminine. So that's that deck. They're beautiful, right? Yes, Ryan, thank you. Yeah, I heard somebody else told me that there was a melanated Rider-Waite deck available on Amazon as well. Okay, and since we're almost in October, this charade, these are called the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcanas. And if you go to look for these online, you can find it. And I'll give you her website. I have to use my Instagram here. Hold on one second. She's so sweet, though. Her Instagram is art goddess.drea, DREA. Her website, for those of you that are interested, it's www.theafrogoddessconnection.com. You can also find her on Etsy. She has a shop on Etsy as well. And I ordered her other deck. She has an Oracle deck now that's coming out. These were her first deck, and now she has another deck as well coming out. That's an Oracle deck, and I already pre-ordered that, so I'm very excited to get that. All right, so then the next deck I have, since it's Halloween time, yes, it is the Halloween Oracle. This is one of my favorite decks to use around this time of the month, you know, of the year, when it's kind of like getting into October. Stacy DeMarco is the one that made these. Very amazing. It says, unleash your inner monster and trick or treat your way into a connection with the most magical and scary night of the year, Halloween. Festivals of the dead like Halloween have been celebrated for thousands of years across many different cultures. They serve to honor those who have passed and celebrate death as a natural part of life and an opportunity to welcome in a new beginning. During Samhain, the ancient Celtic festival from which Halloween originates, the veil between this world and the next is believed to be at the thinnest and so sincere that the very beginning, Halloween has been an occasion for effective and potent divination, a chance to connect with the other side and get a glimpse into your future. Now you can harness the eerie power of Halloween every night of year, encountering black cats, vampires, zombies, witches, werewolves, jack-o'-lanterns, skeletons, mummies, and characters from the Mexican Day of the Dead tradition, including Lady de los Muertos, exquisite candy skulls, and more. Basically, there are 36 cards. There are not many cards, but this is what they look like. Look at that kitty cat. Isn't it cute? I love cats, especially black cats. It's cute. It's precious. Then we got this one. The apple. It says risk and rewards. I'll be doing some readings of this coming week with these cards, with this deck. Skeleton. Strength. Lady de los Muertos. Acceptance and equality. And I'm not going to show them all on here, but Night Song. Oops, I don't know if y'all can see that. Hidden Talent. So I love these cards. I really do. They do come with the manual, like I said. They're really great. And then I have one more deck that I recommend for this fall. These are my favorite fall decks. Come on. Okay, this is the deck. This is the Universal Love Healing Oracle cards by Tony Carmine Salerno. How many cards do these? 45 cards. These are large cards, guys. So they're not like tiny, very easy to shuffle. But, you know, if you have larger hands, you may be able to. But the depictions on these are gorgeous. Where's the other one? Let me see. Yeah, they have beautiful illustrations. Like I said, my decks don't have the illustrations like this, but they're really great, very to the point, and kind of evoked almost like a childlike inner child. Like you can connect to your inner child. But those are my favorite. Okay, and last but not least, hopefully those of you that are tuning in today, I want to talk about a giveaway. All right, so I'm going to be doing a giveaway on today's video. I will be announcing this on Wednesday, the winner. And this is a $25 Visa gift card. So all you have to do to enter is basically you just need to be sure that you're subscribed to this channel, that you comment in the comment section below, that you like the video, and you share it. Basically, that's all you have to do to enter my giveaway. And again, I'll be announcing the winner of the Visa, this American Express gift card. It's for $25. So it's not much, but hey, it's something, and I love giving back to y'all. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I have a couple of minutes still. Let me just go through and read the comments because I don't want you to feel like I was ignoring y'all. But I was just into that zone of showing those cards. They're very fun. Okay. Hey, Stephen Meekin. Nicole, you have a black cat? Okay, Talia Sparkles asked me, hey, Ray, what do you do with candles, etc., left over from a spell or ritual? Do you just throw them away? That's a very good question. It depends on what kind of spell you're doing, what kind of hoodoo work you're doing. Some of these would require for you to kind of bury the wax away from your property, or throw it away, dispose of it away from your property in a place. Some spells require for you to bury your like candle wax or anything that you worked with in the ground. Typically, I dispose of mine away from my home and just throw it like in a public dumpster, etc., somewhere there. That's because, again, you don't want that energy. You already worked with it. You don't want it there on your inside, on your property, etc. And then there's some spells, like I said, that if you do it, it does require for you to kind of like bury those things or throw them, in the ground. And there are other things that you may use that you can just dispose of, like throw away. But yes, always throw away. Never recycle anything that you are using for magic. Yeah, you don't want to do that at all. like with soaps, like that Florida water soap that I was showing y'all, there are some people that believe like when you use that to cleanse yourself, like you would take the bar of soap, you would just cut off like a small piece of it that you're going to use for that particular time and then just throw it away. If you use the whole bar, you know, some people would just use it once and then throw it away. Because again, whatever energy or intentions are behind the bar that you're using a soap to cleanse yourself, it all depends. But different, you know, to me, in magic and in spirit and in mediumship and psychic work, like to me, it's like you can tailor it to your own needs. I think there's a lot of people that want to create structures or create these rules, quote unquote, rules on how you do it. And if you don't do it that way, then you're incorrect, or it could have a special, you know, some kind of effect on you. To me, it's all about your intentions and how you choose to do the work. So to me, there's no right or wrong way. Let me see. Doris Sanchez, thank you. Says that so far I love all of your videos. Guys, I'm sorry if the connection is cutting off again. Just see here. It should be reconnecting. There we go. If y'all saw an intermittent pause or connection issues, it's back, supposedly. Sorry about that. Rebecca Howie, can you show us some of your cards? Yeah, absolutely. These are the backs of my cards. Again, with the crescent moon. Spiritual attachment, letting go, crystals, witchcraft, spiritual gifts, haunted, anger, listen to your intuition, mourning, fear, peace, careful of the decision, self-love, forgive. Okay, and for those of you that want to see like all the rest of the cards, you can go to my video on my playlist. It's called The Launch Party, and that's when I show like all my cards and do readings for people. So you haven't checked out on that video, I show all of my cards. You can definitely check them there. Check that video out. I learned English with you and your work. Greetings from Cologne. Hey, Diane Stark. How do you define a witch in today's era? Johnny Bravo. Hey, Ray, how do you define a witch in today's era? You know, to me, a witch is not a female or a male. You know, it's not just a female. It can be a male. To be a witch, you could be a male or a female. Like, you could also be non-gender binary. To me, like, you cannot put a label or a gender on the term witch. But there, again, there's been a lot of people that call male witches warlocks, etc. But ultimately, it's the same. To me, witches can be just like psychic abilities, natural-born witches, or they could be later decide that they have a pull or gravitation due to a past life as a witch, and they're more awakened now to their past life as a witch in the current time frame or age that they're at right now, and actually become a practicing witch. You know, witches fall into different categories as well. Like, there's people that are pagan or that are Wiccan. There's people that are chaos magicians that they do that kind of work, you know, witch work, but they don't necessarily follow like one particular religion. Hoodoo, you know, they are witches, but they follow all different types of like bits and pieces of different religions, etc., incorporated and tailor it to their work. Then they have then you have a hedge witch, you know, and you have solitary witches, and then you have dark witches, and then you have white witches, and then you have like witches that don't work, you know, in a certain way. There's just so many different levels, etc. Like I need to do a different video about that. I may do a video with my friend Pam on that, because she and I we would probably be able to cover a lot of this on a live. But I'll get with her and see. Like we are planning another live maybe at the end of October. But it's very interesting. But yeah, like I also wrote about like natural born witches in my book Starseed Footsteps. If you haven't picked up a copy, like there's different ways that you'll know like you are a natural born witch or you have those abilities. And like I said, the word witch, a lot of people misconstrue that and think that it's something negative, and it doesn't mean something negative. Like they're not, the term witch doesn't mean like you're a devil worshiper or that you do dark magic and black magic and you hurt people, or that you're a Satanist. I think a lot of people that, again, that live with the spirit of fear tend to misconstrue that and make it into something that it's not. And I know a lot of people that are witches that would be tuning into this, you know, they may not like the fact that, you know, society kind of depicts us as old hags or crones with, you know, green colored skin and a wart on our nose and missing teeth. You know. Oh, another thing that I want to talk about, since we're talking on this topic of witches, I definitely want to see Hocus Pocus. That's my favorite Halloween movie. So I definitely want to see that. I like that one. Then the one with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. What is that called? Practical Magic. Love those two movies. I'm gonna actually like have like later this afternoon like a binge watching session of old horror movies or old, you know, movies like that are classics in my mind. But yeah, I love Practical Magic. I love that one. Sabrina is really good. Yes, I cannot wait for season 3. They need to get on the ball already. I've been waiting, and I wish that, you know, the old charm would come back, because I'm not feeling the new Charmed. I was in the beginning, but not anymore. I want the OGs to come back, like Shannon and Alyssa. You know, we need the old Charm. You know, whether or not they will come back, you know, we'd have to see. They're making another Practical Magic. Oh, really? That is interesting. I wish they would make another craft movie. There was rumors that they were, but it was like a mock type of thing, not really real. But they need to do another one. Yeah, we need the old ones. I bet you sooner or later they're going to come out with a new Buffy too. Remember Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I used to love that show. Sarah Michelle Gellar was everything. I loved her. Like, I loved her attitude, and you know that she was like in the world. There's, you know, how did it go? Like something about like in all the world there's one chosen one to fight all demons and evil. Blah blah blah. She was amazing. Let me see. Yeah, I was into that. I also loved Angel, David Boreanaz. I mean, who, you know, didn't like David? He's really cool. And Charisma Carpenter, she's just beautiful. I feel like a lot of those people, you know, we need like a Buffy to come back, and maybe she could, like, you know, be like the mom of the next Slayer. We need a lot of these shows to come back. You like the originals? I like the Vampire Diaries a lot, and I like the originals as well. Diane Stark, yes, your English is readable, hon. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I enjoyed being on here live with you for this hour and a half about. So, again, if you want to enter my giveaway, all you have to do is comment, like, subscribe, share this video, and the winner will be announced on Wednesday. So, blessings and love and light. Have an amazing rest of your afternoon this Sunday, or Monday, depending where you're at. Some people are in Australia, and it's already Monday morning over there. So, take care. I love you so, so much.